Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Straight Fire Picks. Best bets for college football, week number 4 on Saturday, September 25th, 2021. My name is Steve, and we're going to have 4 picks here for you for the Saturday slate college football that I think are great value bets. As always, just want to thank you all for your continued support in the channel. If you are new to the channel here today, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps us grow this channel. A few quick announcements that we have. We have a Discord server also starting up that we're just getting off the ground. I'm going to put a link in the description to that. And we also have a live stream coming up on Monday starting at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be covering the Monday Night Football game with a watch party and game audio. So really looking forward to that. And other than that, let's get right into our results from last week. So this is results from week 3 on Saturday, September 18th. So we went 1-3. Obviously not what we're looking to do here. The only one that we were able to cash was the Michigan State plus 6.5 spread. Cashed that one obviously easily. Wish I took the money line. Michigan State dominated and won that game pretty easily. The other bets that we had Colorado minus 2.5 versus Minnesota. Really thought Colorado would respond after playing a hard-fought game with Texas A&M where they only lost 10-7. And Minnesota this year really hadn't looked that impressive in a bunch of their games. So, just Colorado did not show up. So, the other pick we had was under 60.5 in the LSU Central Michigan game. Thought we'd see a lot more defense in this game, coming into the game. But, LSU really put it on them early. And Central Michigan also scored a few touchdowns as well. So, what can you do about that? And then the Purdue-Notre Dame game, we had Purdue plus 7.5. We were in the money a lot of the game on this. And late also in the fourth quarter, Notre Dame got a late touchdown, put us outside the money. So unfortunately, we went 1-3. But we move on from that. We're going to get that 4-0 this week, guys. Let's get after it. We got a lot of great plays this week. So getting right into our picks. At number 1, we're going with the LSU Tigers minus 2.5 spread versus the Mississippi State Bulldogs at minus 106 odds. So a couple things I really like coming into this game, guys. LSU has really kind of found their way the last couple games. Now, I know it's not against the greatest of competition, but they really laid it on Central Michigan, obviously, last game. Max Johnson, the quarterback for LSU, has been very good so far this year. 11 touchdowns so far in his first 3 games. He's thrown at least 3 in each game, so that offense is really humming. Even in the game against UCLA, which, UCLA has a pretty decent defense, and they're, obviously a pretty decent team overall. LSU played a pretty good offensive game. Now, obviously, defensively, they didn't in that game. They lost the first week. They've responded the last couple weeks by winning, obviously against competition. It's not great. But Mississippi State, on the flip, has been no more impressive. They lost out of conference to Memphis, and they had a 1-point win over Louisiana Tech. So, LSU has obviously far more talent than Mississippi State does. They have a lot higher expectations, and I expect LSU to go in here, first game SEC play and really take care of business here on the road and definitely win. There's no way I see LSU losing this game. So if you're going to give me even money for an essential pick'em game, definitely going to roll LSU here. This defense for LSU ranked in the top 10 by ProFootballFocus.com heading into the season. So the talent's definitely there, guys. I know they haven't been as sharp yet, but I think LSU is definitely going to improve as the season goes along, and this is going to be a great gauge here in week 1 of SEC play. So I expect, high expectations here for LSU. Definitely should cover the spread, so take it there for your number 1 pick. LSU Tigers minus 2.5 spread versus the Mississippi State Bulldogs at minus 106 odds. Okay, and at number 2, we're rolling with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish plus 5.5 spread versus the Wisconsin Badgers at minus 108 odds. So we got a revenge game here for Jack Cohn and the Fighting Irish. Jack Cohn, the quarterback here for Notre Dame, playing against his old team in Wisconsin, going up against Graham Mertz, the guy who took his job. So I expect the very best out of Jack Cohn here for sure. I think we're going to see a great game from him. He's going to be extremely motivated. Notre Dame playing pretty close to home. I don't see any way where Wisconsin covers 5.5 here. I'm just definitely not expecting that to happen. Wisconsin lost week 1 at home already to Penn State 16-10. Their offense looked terrible. Graham Mertz, I guess he's supposed to be better than Jack Cohn, but it's definitely not showing it so far this year. In that game against Penn State, 2 interceptions, 185 yards on 37 attempts. It's obviously not what you want to see from the quarterback position. And as far as Notre Dame goes, we know Notre Dame can rebuild year after year with Brian Kelly, one of the best coaches in the game. Notre Dame off to a 3-0 start. Obviously, I understand they haven't looked great in a couple of their games. They've had some close finishes, some scary finishes. I picked against them last week. But as the season goes, Notre Dame, I only expect to get better and better. And like I said, I haven't seen a lot of greatness from Wisconsin either. Let's be honest. Like I said, with Mertz, they're struggling. This Wisconsin offense doesn't scare me at all. Their defense does, but Jack Cohn's very familiar with their defense as well. So I think if there's a guy that could take advantage of the defense that knows the ins and outs, it's going to be Jack Cohn. And 5.5 is just too much. I think that's the bottom line here. Is 5.5 points is too much for Wisconsin to cover in a game like this. I expect Notre Dame definitely to cover here. So take it there for your number 2 pick. Notre Dame plus 5.5 spread versus Wisconsin at minus 108 odds. Okay, and at number 3, we're rolling with the under 47.5 points in the Clemson NC State game at minus 110 odds. So, coming into this game, we have 2 pretty solid defenses overall. Obviously, we're familiar with Clemson and how physical and how good they could be on the defensive side of the ball. NC State is also having a pretty good season so far as on defense. Both teams inside the top 20 as far as yards per game goes. NC State sitting at 16th and Clemson at 18th. So you pair that with a quarterback for Clemson that's really struggling here out of the gate. I like the odds of cashing the under here. Ukulele, really in all 3 of his starts, has not looked good in any one start. Even against NC State where they scored, they won 49-3. Ukulele just has not put together a really good game yet. And the under was hit 3 in all 3 games in Clemson games. So the under was 3-0 in Clemson games. No real shocker there. Like I said, their defense is really good. And, this year, Ukulele just has not been doing good at all. Last week, we had 22 points in the Clemson-Georgia Tech game. 14-8, Clemson won. So, I think Ukulele is, it's not like it's getting any easier on them this week with NC State. NC State also with a pretty solid defense as well. So definitely take it there, guys. Under 47.5 points in the Clemson-NC State game at minus 108 odds. Okay, and finally at number 4, we have an upset pick for you this week. We are rolling with the Arkansas Razorbacks money line versus the Texas A&M Aggies at plus 176 odds. So obviously I love the value of this. Arkansas coming into this game is rolling. They're 3-0. They have an upset win already over Texas this year, 40-21, where they dominated Texas. So I love to see that. This is supposed to be a home game for them. I would beg to differ. I'm playing Texas A&M, so not really much of a home game here for Arkansas. But either way, I think Arkansas is going to have a lot of momentum rolling in here, led by KJ Jefferson, the quarterback for Arkansas. That physical offensive line that Arkansas knows how to build. One of my boys up in Detroit, Frank Ragnow, right out of Arkansas, and the first round pick. So they know how to breed him down in Arkansas on the offensive line. Very physical offensive line this year as well. They're very good, and they have the 8th best rushing attack in the nation so far this year. So they know how to run the football with the quarterbacks, with the running backs. They have a lot of different options. That's how they like to play. They play a tough-nosed defense. They're 17th in all college football in defense as far as yards per game goes. So far they've been really solid here out of the gate, obviously. And A&M, we mentioned A&M earlier against Colorado, right? In our results where Colorado hung with them and only lost 10-7 to Texas A&M. So, A&M has had a couple games where they just haven't been that impressive yet. And you're playing against a team with a lot of momentum. Arkansas in the top, ranked inside the top 25 now. Like I said, rolling in here with a lot of momentum, already has an upset victory on the season over Texas. And like I said, in that Colorado game for Texas A&M, Colorado racked up 173 yards on the ground versus A&M. So this is not obviously getting any easier for A&M. They're going to have a really hard time stopping the running game at Arkansas for sure. I think they run all over them and they win, I don't know if they blow them out, but Arkansas, definitely taking Arkansas to win here. I love the odds. So take it there for your number 4 pick. Arkansas Razorbacks money line versus Texas A&M at plus 176 odds. Okay, guys, that's going to do it for our picks. If you enjoyed the content here today, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Always appreciate that. Our goal this week is to hit 575 subscribers here by the end of the week, so appreciate your help out with that. Other than that, that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and we will catch you back here next week for college football. Be sure to check out our other videos as well. We got baseball videos rolling out, NFL, primetime football videos as well, and we'll also have that live stream coming up on Monday night. So hope to see you guys around the channel. Other than that, it's going to do it for me. Until next time, peace out.